Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Hey there, everybody. We are going to do a fantasy football.
Our league, Josh.
Our league
Our
recap.
league. This is weird, right?
Yeah.
Is this weird for you too?
A little bit.
It's weird for me because I feel like most of the time, like, we have to try to, we're still ourselves, but we act, because people don't really know us, right? You have to
True.
kind of keep it a little bit PC. Now this is like all of these morons. They're probably like, why are Tim and Josh talking like this is a big deal?
This is just how we talk now.
This is bringing politically correct fantasy land to a whole nother level, in my opinion.
So let's talk about the divisions that we have. One division, the South. We have Spencer. We have
2 in the Plinko, 1 in the Stinko. I actually give him all the credit for that guy winning almost $32,000 the other day. You see that?
$32,000.
Yeah, a guy playing Plinko won all they're $31,500 playing
did not see
Plinko.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then we have Dirty Sanchez Butt Fumblers, which I believe is Jerry.
Yeah, that's fitting for Jerry.
And then PC Puss Slain Trump Style Alex.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm interested to see where Alex's team name goes this year
Yeah.
because he's normally pretty good. He had that picture of that weird guy with his the thing on his dick hitting
Yeah.
the bars all the time.
That was a little
That made me
weird.
laugh every time. I don't know what it was, but
Another division, the West, we have Justin Barstool Sports, again making fun of Tim.
I resent that.
The Big Gronkowski, which is Josh Schultz, and the Colin Kaepernick, still Danny's keeping that name. Danny right there. So 2 divisions. It's kind of weird. We haven't really talked about the keepers yet, but we'll get to there.
Yep.
Next division, we have East. That's Kevin, Tom, and Mike. Wow. And then we
Fucking
have
Tom, man.
We have me, you, and Joey in a division as well.
We already talked about at our league party that I think roughly 3 people were at how disappointed I was about this draw.
So let's start off with Tom's division since he's not here.
Yeah, fuck.
And let's go with Kevin's team first because this is going to be the team of conversation, probably the team that we have the most talk about, right? So let's go through his keepers. We have Cam Newton.
Okay, I mean, listen, no one likes to really keep a quarterback, but it's still Cam Newton. He can take over a game. He can win you multiple games.
Carlos Hyde.
Poo. Tremendous poo.
Stephon Diggs.
That's not a keeper. That might not even be a real person.
Jeremy Maclin.
And Jeremy Maclin, I mean, I'm not huge on a Kansas City wide receiver, but okay.
Tavon Austin.
Yeah, I guess, I mean...
Mohamed Sanu.
No.
I'm naming guys that are probably his keepers.
Honestly, if I'm Kevin, I'm keeping the barn dog, Gary Barnidge. He's not even on a team right now.
Yeah, he's not even on a team, but I'd still probably
The
consider
sad part here is Kevin's best, his best quote unquote keepers would be keeping 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
Keep Cam Newton and Kirk
I
Cousins.
said that the other day, and I was laughing at that. But, I mean, if I had to pick Kevin's keepers, it's Cam Newton, Carlos Hyde, Stephon Diggs, Tavon Austin, Jeremy Maclin. That's who I would pick, or I would pick Mohamed Sanu over Stephon Diggs.
Mine would be Cam Newton, Carlos Hyde, and if the league, and it looks like it's going that way, which is against my better judgment, but if the league goes to half-point PPR, keeping Duke Johnson may not be a bad play. He catches the ball quite a bit out of the backfield. He was ranked 40th overall in the backfield, so he potentially could improve. And then, yeah, I mean, Jeremy Maclin and Travis Benjamin, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing. I know numerous people have tried to rape and pillage Kevin's team, trying to quote unquote help him and give him the best keepers. And Kevin's standing pat and saying that he's not in fantasy football mode yet. So focusing on missing weight at his competition. I know that had just happened. So fuck you, Kevin. But yeah.
Next team, we have Mike. We have Aaron Rodgers, Ty Montgomery, Eddie Lacy, Michael Crabtree, Jarvis Landry. Does he keep anybody else?
Wait, hold on, before we continue with Mike, I do want to bring out. Let's talk about draft picks. Kevin's at 6'5". That's his first pick. He has to go with one of the running backs available there, right?
He has
you think,
to, yeah.
right? Obviously, wouldn't go a wide receiver or a veteran, a rookie running back.
Yeah, you could go rookie running back. The rookie running back that's probably going to be there depends on what Mike does at pick 3. But chances are, if a rookie running back does slide, it'll be a Dalvin Cook or if he goes with another rookie running back, it's going to be Samjai P. Ryan.
The point I want to make about Kevin is he sometimes is like the Chicago White Sox have always been. They just try to bring in veterans that are just like try to make that push. Oh, we're still going to be good.
Yeah.
No, your team's fucking garbage, Kevin. Do not draft Marshawn Lynch, you fucking idiot.
He might. So
I almost would be willing to bet that Kevin drafts Marshawn Lynch.
Next up, Mike, we have Aaron Rodgers, Ty Montgomery, Eddie Lacy, Michael Crabtree, Jarvis Landry. He's got Martellus Bennett on the bench, and another wide receiver that I like a lot is Jamison Crowder. We've talked about him. I know you've talked about him a lot. So those are two guys that I could see him possibly flip-flop, but I see him staying with what he's got.
You know, I'm very interested to see if he still keeps Eddie Lacy. Like, the fact that Eddie Lacy is, like, he gets a party and gets, like, little firecrackers and he throws the poppers on the floor like a little kid when he, is under his 260-pound goal. It's kind of embarrassing. He's either going to be hurt. There's no way in hell he plays more than 12 games this year, in my opinion. And as a keeper, I don't really see the value where you have someone, Jamison Crowder, 24 years old, having a Crabtree, Landry, Crowder. Listen, Landry and Crowder are young enough. They could be on the team for years to come. I don't know.
Again, Mike is at pick number 3, so this is another spot that he should go rookie running back.
Well, and that's all going to depend on what Josh decides to do. We've talked about it at great lengths here a little bit, during the shows when we're off the air. And, Josh is definitely going Fournette. And then the question is, does he go with his boy Joe Mixon or does he go with Christian McCaffrey? I think and I'm going to speak for him because he's not going to tell you the truth anyway. I think in his heart of hearts, he knows that Christian McCaffrey is the safer pick, but he loves Joe Mixon because he hates women and he hates Mike. So both of those factors could play into it. I don't know what's going to happen. I'll be very, very interested if Josh takes Joe Mixon to see if Mike Agent is smart enough and not a total fucking idiot to just take Christian McCaffrey because he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing because I think if I do take Mixon, I think Mike may go rookie wide receiver, and that would fuck
and
the
you
whole
don't you don't
draft up.
even want to take Mixon.
That's the
You just
thing.
want to fuck with Mike.
Exactly.
Ugh.
So, needless to say, let's go on to the next team, which is going to be Tom's team. And
Can we just trash this team?
yeah, I mean,
team's garbage.
It's pretty much the thing that we should do. But Tom, his keeper is pretty much set. You got Andrew Luck, Le'Veon Bell, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, T.Y. Hilton. You're not going to flip anybody out. Five good keepers.
He's got two of the very best players in the National Football League and two of the most overrated players in the National Football League in Andrew Luck and Ty Hilton. They're nothing special. But props Tom's third championship last year. Good for you.
Yeah, Tom is his first pick, 8th round.
Yeah, and it makes sense. We've seen this from Tom in the past. He makes sure to shore up his team, towards the end of the season. And, deals like this are gonna have to be made. But look at that 8th round. 8-7, 8-10, 8-12. He has a core
and then 9-1 right after.
Right. He has a core of 5 keepers. He doesn't have to draft right away.
Exactly.
And the odds are that he's going to draft people in those rounds that are way better than whoever I draft in the mid-7th.
I see a draft day trade from Tom, though, because I think he's going to want to get up into that mid-7th round to get a running back to complement Le'Veon Bell and Ezekiel Elliott for his bye weeks.
I see the pairing right now. You know what I see? I see someone in Tom who obviously likes to move up. He'll want to get that one more big impact player, someone that he loves, young. And he sees someone like your brother, Joey Stevens, who likes to accumulate picks and kind of build his team. Joey at 6'6", right? 6'6"?
6'6", yep.
6'6". No one that he's necessarily in love with can just kind of expand his team. 3/8 for a 6. Wouldn't be surprised.
Let's pick a winner of this division. Second place in this division, last place.
First place for me will obviously be Tom because the other two people are borderline retarded. Second place for me would be Mike because he is improving as long as he's not as dumb as you say he is, Josh, and he makes the smart pick. If you pick a rookie wide receiver, Mike, you are an absolute moron. Last place is Kevin. He will be last place in the division again. I'm assuming that Spencer's going to try to come up with some weird rule to basically embarrass Kevin, and Kevin ultimately will just kill Spencer and quit the league.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think Tom will win the division. I think Mike could possibly do it. Pretty much the only way he can do it is if he trades up to 6'2" and gets Joe Mixon.
Here's what's not being talked about though is when is Mike's next baby due?
I don't know.
All right, me neither, because we're not good friends and we don't pay attention when he tells us this stuff. But at some point, and what month are we in right now? We're in June almost, right?
Almost, yep.
So June, so football season is another 3 months from now. So mid-season, let's say, he's going to have a baby.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone knows that Gabby wears the pants in that relationship. He's going to be up all night. He's going to be breastfeeding. It's going to be awful for him. He's going to be so tired and just sore on his nipples. So I assume that he will have a good start and a terrible downfall.
Next division, we have, let's start off with Justin. His keepers, possibly, I'm looking at Devonta Freeman, DeMarco Murray, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, and I am going to go with Greg Olsen over Corey Coleman. He's already going to keep 2 wide receivers. I think Greg Olsen is going to be his 5th keeper on that team.
I agree with you. Everyone knows how much Justin loves Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen loves
old white men.
Justin loves Greg Olsen more than he loves you, Josh. That is a fact. Devonta Freeman, I agree with. DeMarco Murray, I agree with. Evans, I agree with. Hopkins, I agree with. If I am him, Corey Coleman's already had injury problems already, which is scary, obviously. Greg Olsen is aging, and tight end is such a crazy position. You don't know what's going to happen. I would almost be interested to see if he decides to just keep a Tevin Coleman. Keep that tandem because it's going to be hard for him to draft. Or a Frank Gore. Keep a 3 running back core because running backs are going to be at a premium.
You know what I see happening is he's got pick 6'9". I see him taking Tevin Coleman at 6'9" or going wide receiver there, hoping he gets Tevin Coleman early in the 7th because he does have a 7'4". It all really depends on what he's feeling, but he's gone running back most of the time in previous drafts, except for, I believe, once he's gone wide receiver.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Justin is always the silent, he just kind of laughs at us all the time and throws in his subtle jabs on draft day, making fun of people. But, Justin always seems to have a good draft.
Yeah. Next up, Josh Schultz. And the big Gronkowski. Right now his keepers are Lamar Miller, Alshon Jeffrey, Devontae Adams, Allen Robinson, Rob Gronkowski. And he's got a shit ton of guys on his team that could be keepers for other teams. Kevin. We have a Jordan Matthews, who I think is going to have a big bounce back year. Amir Abdullah. He's going to probably be the second best veteran running back behind Tevin Coleman available after the rookie run. Or I'm sorry, third, but behind Tevin Coleman and Marshawn Lynch. And then you have Martavis Bryant, you got Deshaun Jackson, you got Zach Ertz, you got Kenneth Dixon, Julian Edelman. If somebody needs a keeper, you should hit up Josh Schultz and try to get something for cheap.
Listen, if you are Josh Schultz, you try to rape and pillage anyone who will listen to any of this garbage that you have on your bench right now. If you're anyone else in the league who needs keepers, do not trade with Josh Schultz because these people are going to be there. Listen, you need to look at Josh Schultz's team there's going to be the rookies, running backs, and wide receivers that are going to be the sexy picks. And then Josh Schultz's bench right now is going to be the top people available outside of rookies. You just named them all.
Yeah.
In terms of his keepers, listen, it sucks because I've been where Josh Schultz is. All those names that you kind of fall in love with that just end up shitting on you, right? They get injured. They don't produce the way that they should. Gronkowski, Robinson, Miller, all of them. If they can all stay healthy and all perform like they should, then he's going to have a fantastic team. He'll compete for the division, but that's a huge if.
Yeah, he's got pick 7-6, but it's going to be very hard to envision a running back falling to that spot. He's going to have to trade up, and a perfect person to trade up with, and I know a lot of conversation has been going on, is Spencer. Because we don't know what Alex is going to do. We don't know what Spencer is going to do with his 2 picks back-to-back. And that would make a lot of sense to move up there. Because the last part of the 6th round, I have those guys taking wide receivers in my latest mock drafts.
My problem with the way that his team is set up and with the draft picks that he has available is the start of the 2017 fantasy football season, his team's going to look almost exactly the same.
Yeah, that's possible.
That's my biggest problem with the people on his bench right now.
Okay. Let's go to the next team, which is Daniel, right?
Danny, the
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Kneeling all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty racist, Danny.
Next up, we have Danny. Let's go through his keepers. We got Mark Ingram, Brandon Marshall, Sammy Watkins. He said over and over he's not going to keep Randy Cobb, so I'm not going to include him in there. We have Spencer Ware and Emmanuel Sanders. So those 5. There's Drew Brees and Randall Cobb that you can throw in there, but I think those are the 5 he's going to go with.
Yeah, this is a very, I'm interested. I think he'll keep Breeze. because he has to out of necessity.
I don't think he's going to.
No? Okay, so then let's leave Breeze out. Ingram,
Yep.
obviously. Marshall and Watkins, which I'm not fond of either. He's not going to keep Randall Cobb. I mean, that's rough. Then he's going to have to keep Tyler Eifert and Spencer Ware, or does he not keep Tyler Eifert and
Spencer Ware and Emmanuel Sanders?
Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, it makes sense. My problem with that team is it's going to be looking a lot like Kevin's team.
Yeah. Well, you got to imagine Emmanuel Sanders, if it goes half-point PPR, Emmanuel Sanders can catch a lot of balls thrown his way. So if that's the case, it does add a little bit more value with half-point. But, I mean, he's still a good wide receiver.
No, he's good. My problem isn't with him. My problem's with the quarterback play.
Yeah.
And he's also got Big D on the other side.
So let's run down here. I think he's not going to keep Breeze. I don't think that's a conversation.
Okay.
I don't think there's only going to be two people that keep quarterbacks, and that's going to be Mike and Kevin. Those would be the only two.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's rank these divisions.
Well, who do you have him taking at 6'4"?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. 6'4", it's probably going to be Cook. I feel like it's got to be.
Dalvin Cook. So we have obviously your two guys going off the board. We have McCaffrey at 3 if Mike's not a moron, and then Dalvin Cook is right there at 6'4".
I think regardless, the top 3 picks are Mixon, Fournette, McCaffrey, regardless of where they're drafted or by what team. I don't think Mike's gonna be that fucking.
The wild
stupid.
card's Mike.
I don't think he's gonna be that dumb. So
hey, he has 3 kids now.
maybe.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
All right, next up, let's go to the. All right, so who do we have winning that division?
To me, it's a no-brainer. Right now, it's Justin.
Yeah.
I feel like Josh Schultz's team has, if he can draft well, which he never has, can be mediocre, can be float around that 500 and kind of push Justin. But I feel like Justin's team is going to be good 3 to 4 games above the second best team in that division.
I think it's a very open division, but I think if Justin drafts right and he gets a good third running back, I think he's okay. But Josh Schultz can be surprising. So we'll see what happens.
He can be surprising. Like just thinking about Danny's team, like okay, Danny's team is aging dramatically, and if I'm him, with who your keepers are, right, giving up on someone like Drew Brees, who's like a guaranteed max amount of points, compared to whatever quarterback he's going to have to draft a quarterback then pretty high to get even within 50 points of what Drew Brees puts up in a season. That's why I don't necessarily like him not keeping Drew Brees.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see what happens. But no, I have it as exactly like it's listed right now. Justin, Josh, Danny.
Okay. Next up, we're going to start off with Jerry. His keepers right now, Tom Brady, Melvin Gordon, Derrick Henry, Terrell Pryor, and LeGarrette Blount. That's who I have. You could possibly take out LeGarrette Blount and put in Kelvin Benjamin, but I think that's the way it's going to go.
Kelvin Benjamin is a fucking Sasquatch right now.
Yeah.
There is no way. He is ginormous. Have you seen pictures of him?
No.
My God, he looks like he makes Eddie Lacy look like the poster child for fucking Betty Crocker videos or something. He is humongous. I think it's obviously Brady, Gordon, Henry, Terrell Pryor, and then LeGarrette Blount. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Listen, Jerry has no picks, I don't think, within the first 12 rounds for the next 6 to 8 years. You better hope Brady does play till 50. You better hope Derrick Henry can take over a majority of those carries. Melvin Gordon, keep on keeping on, brother. And then Terrell Pryor Sr., obviously. He's like 30 or something, isn't he? He's older.
Terrell Pryor, I think he's 27.
27, okay.
But he does have pick 7-1, Jerry-wise. So it'll be very interesting.
It'll be interesting. I mean, he could probably, reason especially I wouldn't keep Kelvin Benjamin.
He could probably get him at 7-1.
He could definitely, but he could get a Randall Cobb at 7-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Who, in my opinion, is a much better wide receiver right now.
Next up, we have Alex's team. We have his team's kind of weird as well, but Todd Gurley, Jordy Nelson, Doug Baldwin, LaShawn McCoy, and then this is where it gets weird. He's got a lot of guys on there that he could probably keep as a fifth. You have somebody like a Cameron Meredith. You have someone like a Willie Snead, who's now going to be the number 2 wide receiver in New Orleans. You have Larry Fitzgerald, who's still the number 1 in Arizona. You have Kevin White, who is not given hope or is not given up on yet. What do you do in that fifth?
I don't know. So, like you said, I mean, how hard is it to keep Latavius Murray though?
Yeah, you
now,
could
with
but
Delvin there.
Yeah,
I mean,
not me. I wouldn't.
That has to be hard, but they just paid him for a reason.
Yeah.
So you say Todd Gurley, Jordy Nelson, Doug Baldwin. That's the 3 guaranteed there. Shady McCoy is the 4, and then
I have him keeping Willie Snead.
that's exactly what I was just gonna say. I would have to say Willie Snead. He's the only other constant, and I feel like he's gonna get a lot of looks his way with Michael Thomas receiving a lot of the pressure now.
I do agree with that.
And then this is the other side of it where Alex is the other wild card in our league. Justin, he's quiet, he does it, and so does Alex. Same exact thing. Accumulates players and picks, doesn't ever really lose out on trades. It's either even money or he does stuff to improve his team. This, like Josh Schultz' team, these are the other top players who are going to be available. With Josh Schultz and Alex's bench, it's going to be the other top 15 guys available who aren't rookies.
Next up, we have Spencer's team, and 2 in the Plinko, 1 in the Stinko. We have...
we didn't talk about Alex's draft.
Oh, sorry.
6'8", so we're getting later here.
6'8", okay. I have him going with wide receiver here. I've mocked this a couple times.
Okay.
Either he goes with a Kelvin Benjamin if he thinks that he's going to be healthy and good to go, or who I really think he's going to take, Julian Edelman.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. He definitely likes going a little bit older, so.
So, yeah, that's what I have him going with, Julian Edelman. I just think it makes a lot of sense. I know he likes Julian Edelman. He doesn't want to trade for him. I think he'd be a guy that he takes in the draft.
I can see it.
So let's go with the last team. That's Spencer's team. Jordan Howard, Brandon Cooks. Spencer's an idiot. One, he thought Brandon Cooks was on the fucking Titans. And then Golden Tate. And I have, who else do I have him taking?
Tyreek.
Probably Tyreek Hill. That's probably where I'm leaning towards. So that's 4. Who would be the 5th? C.J. Anderson?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, he shouldn't if he's paid attention at all, which he probably hasn't. But the Broncos have already come out and said they're doing running back by committee.
It's hard to believe that he's going to get a running back at 8-1, right? That's
it
his
is.
That's his first pick.
If I have Howard, Cooks, Tate.
Oh, he's got 7-2. I'm sorry, 7-2 and 7-3.
If I'm him, I'm going with Howard, Cooks, Tate, Moncrief Hill.
Moncrief Hill.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have 4 wide receivers, and you're praying that Tyreek Hill gets that split eligibility, or maybe even that he blows up and he's able to deal him for kind of play someone for a high pick for next year's draft. He set himself up. I was shocked that he traded Rodgers, to be honest with you, but not terrible, I guess, because no one likes to keep a quarterback. He has to be praying that Jordan Howard doesn't suffer a sophomore slump. I'm not fond of Spencer's team or Spencer as a person.
I see him keeping C.J. Anderson. That's just me. I feel like he's got to do the math and he's got to look at it. What running backs are going to be available? Amir Abdullah. That's probably your best bet. Who's going to fall all the way down to that spot, right?
Probably. I mean,
that means you'd be rolling with Amir Abdullah as your starter, and you would.
I would be tempted. To keep Charles Sims.
No.
With Doug Martin?
No.
Out for the first 4 games?
No, no. I would rather have Jacquizz Rodgers than Charles Sims.
That's right. The Bucs do have Jacquizz Rodgers too. All right, don't keep Charles Sims. Keep Matt Asiata, Spencer.
So what does he do with pick 7 Matt Asiata did sign with the Detroit Lions, though.
Yeah.
So he's got 7-2 and 7-3. Imagine he keeps both those picks.
The reason why I said initially that he should go with Howard, Cooks, Tate, Moncrief, Hill is because he could very well get an Adrian Peterson at 7-1. Not huge. I'm not huge on it, but someone to fill the holes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's kind of the situation that he put himself in at running back.
I would rather be drafting an Alvin Kamara, as much as I hate him, over Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, but that's because you love rookies.
No, it's for the fact that I don't think Adrian Peterson's going to do anything. But that's just me thinking. So, regardless, I think he's got to go running back. I think if Amir Abdullah is at that spot, I think he takes him there. I think it just makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
So, next division,
let's announce our order here.
Yeah, where do we think we have these jokers?
I have it at I have Alex winning the division next year. I have Spencer in second, around 500, and I have Jerry in last place.
Jerry, who could quite possibly have the best keepers out of all 3 of them.
I'm sorry, you have a running back who's not even the real running back right now. I have a hard time maintaining the fact that Jerry's team is going to do what it's supposed to do. Even with Tom Brady, Jerry did the opposite of Spencer. He didn't dump his old quarterback who's going to guarantee him points.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have Alex win the division.
How many games? Over or under 2.5?
I'm going to say under 2.5. I think he'll win it by 2.
I have a new challenge for Spencer for the 2017 season. Last year it was his hand.
Yep.
He bitched out after saying, I will bet you anything in the world. So if that offer still stands, if I lose, if I have a worse record than Spencer, I will pay him $50.
Ooh.
If I win, I get to walk Spencer around the mall like a dog.
On a leash?
I put a leash on him.
Wow.
He has to be on his hands and knees, and he has to walk like a dog. Face paint, no.
That'd be interesting.
That's the bet.
All right,
Man up.
We got 4 more minutes. Let's knock our division out real
Okay.
quick. Joey's, we have David Johnson, Matt Ryan, Paul Perkins, Julio Jones, A.J. Green, Demaryius Thomas, Travis Kelce. And I'll let you go through this. I really don't know where I would go with this.
It's great. He has one of the best running backs in David Johnson. Julio Jones, A.J. Green, and Demaryius Thomas are still 3-star wide receivers. I don't know what he's gonna do to keep where he's gonna keep his fifth. I know he doesn't want to keep a tight end, but I wouldn't hate on him keeping Travis Kelce and hoping at 6'6" that he can pick up a Marshawn Lynch or P. Ryan, because Joey's team is still in win now mode. Or does he keep Matt Ryan? Also very, very possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way. He's got so many different options, and it's going to be very interesting. And when his pick does come up, it'll be very interesting as well, because it is 6'6", could go many different ways. It's all just really, really interesting shit, and especially because it's in our division, so it's like the toughest one to figure out in a sense. So let's go with my team. We'll go with yours last.
Okay, I'll break down your
Okay,
team.
good.
That's nice. So Josh's team is here and there show. So weird, but whatever. So your keepers, let's say you're obviously going to keep Doug Martin, Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas, and Des Bryant, and then I have you keeping Jordan Reed as well. You wouldn't have made that trade with me if you weren't going to keep Jordan Reed. I wish you would keep Josh Gordon. So those are my 5 keepers for you. And with the fact that you're going to take 2 rookie running backs to start out your draft at 6'1" and 6'2", I have you taking, I feel like your brain is going to get the better of you, and you will go with Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey.
All right. We'll see what happens. It'll be very interesting. That's all I got to say. Mike, 6'2" is available. So if you want that Joe Mixon, you better move up. Next up, we have Tim's team, and he's going to be keeping Jay Ajayi, Isaiah Crowell, which I think was a very underrated trade that you made, Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham Jr., and then you have a possibility for a 5th. I think you're going to keep a Bilal Powell. I think he's going to be the guy on the Jets. A lot of people keep saying Matt Forte still. To be honest, I wouldn't even really hate you if you kept Terrence West, just for the fact that it's a backup running back and he's going to be the starter for 4 games.
I'm going to wait till the very last possible day to make my decision. I could keep a Derek Carr. I could keep a Bilal Powell. Or I could even keep a Rashard Matthews if I had to. I got a lot of different options, which is exactly what I wanted, so be it. With my pick, I don't pick until, 7:10. So I have to wait a while. I'll either be looking to fill a position for a 3rd backup running back or, my 3rd wide receiver.
So let's rank this division. Where we got it?
Oh, man. I mean, I think there's no way I don't win this division by 4 or 5 games. Easy.
I think this is the toughest division because you have so many different things. You got Joey's team, who is like very top heavy. You got a David Johnson, Julio Jones, A.J. Green, Demaryius Thomas, all big name guys. You got you with Isaiah Crowell with a great offensive line this year. You have Antonio Brown, you got Odell Beckham Jr., and you got me, who's going the complete opposite, and I'm going to say, give me my rookies, and I'm going to try to ride that rookie train.
And this division is going to get even stronger if we go to a half-point PPR.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. The best wide receiver division by far. When you draft your running backs, probably one of the best running back divisions by far. I am super pissed that I am in the division here.
So, again, guys, if you have not voted, please vote for the half-point PPR or not. It doesn't matter. I personally don't care. If we do vote for half-point PPR, it is going to stay in effect for 3 years at least minimum because all these changes are stupid. So, the only reason why we even brought it up is just for the fact that ESPN is changing their standard scoring to PPR now.
Josh, early Starfish Bowl prediction. Who do you have?
30 seconds left. I'm going to go with, if I didn't have to choose myself, Mike.
Against who? Who's he playing? Jerry? Because you're just picking dumbass
I'm gonna
picks.
go Mike versus Tom.
All right, not including myself, I will go with Alex versus Justin for the Starfish. We will have a new champion.
That's all we got for you guys. Thank you.